What up, guys? JRJuggernaut1. It's gonna be my final thoughts on Nats. Now, first off, I'm a bit surprised that I wasn't really expecting X-Sabers to win. I mean, I predicted it, yeah, that I thought that was the best chance. But to be honest, I kept thinking, well, they didn't win Virginia, they didn't win Chicago. What makes you? I was like, kind of thinking, what makes me think that it's gonna, win Nats? I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go by what I think is the best deck, and I thought I was gonna be wrong again, but surprisingly, I wasn't. Oh well, it's good. What did surprise me though is how many of the decks in the top 16 were in fact X-Sabers decks. I actually looked. 9 out of the 16 decks were X-Sabers decks. Along with X-Sabers, there was one Frog OTK deck, one Frog Monarch deck, two Gadget decks, one Glad Beast deck, one Caliber Cat deck, and one Blackwing deck. Wow. I mean, I'm pretty shocked by all this. My whole thing was, I think X-Sabers and Infernities were kind of like dominating. And this proved to be true and untrue, if you think about it. X-Sabers did end up being kind of dominating, but Infernities weren't. There were no Infernity decks in the top 16. I'm still processing it in a way. I just think Infernities can be pretty ridiculous, especially when you put them in the hands like someone like Dale Bolito and Lazaro Bolito. So, wow. But you know what? It's in a way it's a good thing. My only problem though is this kind of further proves the point that X-Sabers and Infernities are just ridiculous in a way. Now, it's not like Synchro Cat. Synchro Cat was ridiculous. And Synchro Cat, you needed to get rid of multiple cards. You had to hit multiple cards in order to really hit the deck. In order to really make it fair. Infernities, it's different. Infernities, you may have... Though, they could technically hit Launcher, and I think the deck would be more balanced. Maybe I'm wrong, but, at the very most, they hit Launcher and they hit Archfiend. That's all you really need to do. But with X-Sabers it's a bit different if you think about it. X-Sabers, there's it's not about OTK potential, but the problem is when you have the searching power of Dark Soul, you're just capable of setting up big plays really easily. So Dark Soul in my opinion, has to be hit. I know it's a TCG exclusive, and I know that Japan's not going to get it for a while, and I know the ban list is usually based heavily on the OCG. But this wouldn't be the first time that they had to do like an emergency ban on a TCG exclusive. I didn't know this until a few months ago, but apparently Allure of Darkness was a card that was a TCG exclusive that was immediately put at 2. Now, I just think Dark Soul is just one of those cards. I mean, Emmer's Blade was fine because it was great, but at the same time, it's like, brings monsters to the field. Dark Soul's different because it lets you take Fultril to hand, which is insane, as I've mentioned before. Overall, I just find that regardless of, regardless of, how good X-Sabers are in Japan, I feel like at this point you can't leave it the way it is. And I say that for another reason too, which other people kind of know about. Obviously, Infernities are going to get hit by the ban list. Obviously. Infernities have been dominating the meta, or I should say they were dominating the meta in Japan, up until for some reason when Blackwing started doing it. I still don't know why. But, it's just shocking in a way, and it's shocking about that, by the way. But yeah, basically Infernities they're gonna get hit somehow. They don't have to hit the entire deck. Again, the only card that's guaranteed, that's definitely gonna get hit, is Launcher. But they could do other stuff besides. But my real point is, once Infernities get hit, they're not gonna have the OTK potential anymore. They're going to make sure of it. They're going to make sure that the deck is still solid, but they're also going to make sure they can't OTK people as easily as they do normally. Once that happens, then people are going to start trying to go back to X-Sabers because they're going to be like, this is just as good of a deck, but at least it's not hit by the ban list. That can't happen though. If that happens, then everybody's going to start running X-Sabers, and I mean everybody. I know it might sound like I'm just complaining about the deck. I just don't want another Synchrocat format though, or Teledad or whatnot. Granted, Synchrocat and Teledad are much worse decks than X-Sabers. Worse in the sense that they're like more annoying to deal with, and they're better decks, just they're more ridiculous. But X-Sabers is still up there, unfortunately. Again, when Dark Soul came out, it pretty much put the deck into overdrive. Now you've got a deck that can set up amazing hands. I'm going to talk about this more when I post a video about my thoughts on the ban list. It's probably going to be one of my last videos, though, just because the ban list is going to be posted right, like, I guess, mid-August, and I go back to school, like a week after that. But still, I'm going to talk about my thoughts. I'm going to have a lot of interesting videos coming up. I'm going to have a video talking about my favorite, the cards I think are going to be most popular from Hidden Arsenal 2, as well as cards that I think will be most popular for the best cards from Duelist Revolution. It's going to be the same thing I did for Shining Darkness. I want to do it for Duelist Revolution, but I can't do it yet until I find out about all the TCG exclusives. So we're going to wait and see what happens on that. Or at least that's what I would like to do. Yeah, it's X-Sabers, but back to what I was saying. So yeah, X-Sabers are just amazing right now, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just don't think it would make sense for them to keep it the way it is. People, yes, there is in a way a bit of diversity. I mean, I'll be honest, where I go to locals, it's not like everybody's running X-Sabers. But as people will tell you, when you go to these like huge events, a lot of people will run X-Sabers because they're awesome. It's pretty straightforward. I'm just really hoping they do something to X-Sabers. They got to at least touch Fall Troll. The problem is, I don't care if X-Sabers aren't good in the meta right now in Japan. You just gotta do something about it, Konami, please. I just. I don't care about the deck itself. I really do, I don't care because I can beat the deck. I know how the deck runs. I know it can be ridiculous, but it's not like it's impossible for me to beat it. No. My problem is just if you have X-Sabers as the top tier deck and it's just where it crushes everybody, then we end up in a format just like with Teledad, just like with Lightsworn, just like with Synchrocat. At least when we had infernities, people did hate it, and not everybody was running it. Now, more and more people are starting to run X-Sabers, and it's annoying. I'm not trying to sound like a complainer, but again, I'm just voicing my opinions here. Alright, now, I'm just going to ask you guys to comment. Tell me what you guys think about whether you think they should hit it. I mean, you can also tell me if you think they should hit it, but they won't. I just want to hear what other people think because I don't want to think I'm crazy here. I feel like what I'm saying is perfectly reasonable, considering the circumstances. But maybe Konami's going to be a bunch of greedy bastards again and just not do anything. Maybe we just need less broken TCG exclusives. I don't know. Hard to say, but things just got to change. I mean, I can handle it. I mean, I think the format's still good because I don't have to put up with so many X-Sabers players. But I feel like it must be kind of annoying to go to Nats and be like, everyone's kind of on that bandwagon. So, whatever. But regardless, at least with X-Sabers, there is a good amount of skill required. And I don't think it's as totally ridiculous as some of the other decks that have been out. So, I'm fine with it. I just think, though, again, if infernities weren't going to get hit, I wouldn't be as worried about this. But I'm really worried just because it's obvious that infernities are going to get hit, and I don't want to see X-Sabers not get touched. So See what happens. Sorry to make this video so long, guys, but I just had a lot on my mind. I gotta go. It's JRJuggernaut1 signing off. Peace, guys.